Namo, Narayan, courageous yogis. I am Sri Devi Das. I wanted to take this time to introduce myself and also the mission of Tripura Yoga. I found my guru when I was relatively young, 24 years old, and I received shaktipat, which is an initiation which awakened the kundalini, opened the heart chakra, and really inducted me into spiritual life. And from that moment forward, I was a completely changed person. And I became incredibly interested in what is this yoga, this tantra, Vedanta. And I started to immerse myself in the Sanatana Dharma. In 2008, I traveled to the Bihar School of Yoga ashram called Pit, and I experienced Yoga Nidra for the first time. And I really enjoyed the opportunity to go deep into meditative states very quickly and easily when you're just lying on your back in Shavasana. And I also noticed that so many people were struggling to stay awake during Yoga Nidra. So when I came back home after the ashram life, people would tell me, oh, I have insomnia, I can't sleep. And I thought, hey, if you have insomnia, just do Yoga Nidra, but don't resist the urge to drift off into unconsciousness. Because I saw so many people in the ashram struggling to stay awake. They would just go right back into sleep, no matter what time of day it was. So I created that video, Yoga Nidra for Insomnia, just for the friends and people in my life who said that they were having trouble sleeping. And that video went out to hundreds of thousands of people. And then the comments started coming in, people sharing how they were able to use that video to get off of their medications. And at that point, I saw what tremendous benefit Yoga Nidra could have for people therapeutically. So the channel started to go in that direction of creating content, adapting the traditional yogic practices, especially of Yoga Nidra, for people who have different therapeutic needs, to bring them that relief. And apparently there was a huge demand there because the channel just started to grow like wildfire. And throughout it all, I realized that what people really needed the most was just that stillness and silence. And when you can have that physical stillness and mental silence to go within and encounter your own true nature, beyond the mind, beyond the stress of all the changing levels of who we are, to go within to that constant inner source and experience your true nature as pure bliss, ecstasy, contentment, joy, happiness. That became the objective of the channel, to give people that experience. And in that experience, people can find relief from whatever they might be suffering from. So that is the objective of the channel. It is to help people transcend their deepest sufferings in life by learning to transcend the outer, gross, apparent, manifest dimensions of our being, the body and the mind, and learn how to experience the inner self, the inner, non-manifest, non-apparent self or Atma. And once we experience that, the relief it brings is on such a deep level. It's deeper than just the body and mind. When you experience total silence and stillness, you experience that relief on a deep psychological level. And that's what's bringing healing. That's what is relieving those tensions and that deeply ingrained stress that we otherwise don't know how to relieve. For instance, we know how to relax the body. We know how to relax the breath. But so many times we don't know how to relax the mind and how to deal with all the deep internal psychological samskaras, various repressed emotions, repressed desires, repressed thoughts, repressed traumas, repressed memories, how to deal with all these aspects of the psyche, most of us have no idea even where to begin. We just distract ourselves from those. We relax by just giving ourselves more sensory stimuli by watching a program or something like this. And that distraction is not actual true relief. So the problems just keep on going. Yoga Nidra provides a way to be able to go into that deepest causal level of our being and find relief there. And the channel also started as a way for me to be able to take a lot of these traditional yogic meditations and take it from just a written script and to actually put a voice to it, make it into an audio track that people can actually listen to and go through those meditations as they memorize and internalize them. That was how the very first meditation started. It was a way for me to be able to experience these meditations more. And then the audience came and started to give their feedback on how much help these meditations were bringing them, not just in their spiritual life and practice of meditation, but relief from so many psychological things as well. So that is the overview. That's the quick version of the whole site, the whole mission, how it all started off. So you could stop this video right now and have a bird's eye view of Tripura Yoga and who is Sri Devi Das. But for those of you who want a little bit more insight, when I first had that spiritual awakening of shaktipat, I had no idea really what I was getting into. I had read in different books about shaktipat and kundalini, and it all seemed like good stuff, but I had no idea what to expect. After my first initiation, I just cried for 6 hours straight because I was experiencing for the first time, really, I was just experiencing my true nature in full. It was just coming out of me, just flooding over. Just my heart was overflowing with self-born bliss, intoxicating bliss of Atma. And yeah, I've experienced my true nature all my life, but the awareness wasn't there, and it was being clouded by all the gross dimensions of my being, the thoughts, the desires. So that experience, it tuned me in. And after that, I became somewhat obsessed with yoga and tantra and Vedanta, to the extent that I started traveling around India. And I've been to India about 6 different times, living in ashrams, also visiting sacred places, and learning all of these different techniques and practices which are ageless. And in an effort to want to take these practices and give them a platform so that they could be practiced and utilized on a free platform like YouTube, that became my interest. And I started off doing that just to give, just as a form of seva, and the whole mission has grown from there. So the objective of Tripura Yoga is really twofold. It really started off as a way of doing sadhana, as a way of doing spiritual practices, a way of taking our practice of yoga and applying it. So we have all these traditional techniques, and we can now utilize them in our own personal practice, our own daily personal practice of meditation, just for our own spiritual unfolding. You might have realized, for instance, if you're doing Yoga Nidra for sleep, you can use any Yoga Nidra on the channel for sleep. It doesn't just have to be having that word sleep in the title. So all of these meditations and all of these practices, they give us some fruit, some relief, some benefit, some results therapeutically. But they also have the ability to go deeper than that and give you an experience of your own true nature, to give you an experience of you, of your true self, Atma, or spirit. And that is the ultimate aim. Because when we can wake up to our truth and know who we are, that solves all of our problems for us automatically. When we can remove that first veil of ignorance, which is just a lack of awareness, and you know who you really are, then all of these different challenges and issues we might have, they're all solved instantaneously. How can that be? The analogy that I have is it's like if you have a dark room that's cluttered and crowded, full of people, and everybody's stumbling over each other and trying to figure out what is what. Is this a wall? Is this a window? Is this a door? As soon as you just turn the light on, everybody just figures out where to go spontaneously. You don't need to have any kind of micromanagement. People just see, oh, there's the door. Okay. That is similar to what happens when you experience your truth, when you experience your true nature, and you become aware of who you really are. Then it solves all of our problems for us. It gives you everything that you ever wished for. It returns you back to your essence. And this provides relief from all suffering and establishes you in your truth. So then it's not just a fleeting glimpse of an experience that we might have every now and then, but when you can have a deep encounter with self, then you become established in that, and that experience predominates your whole life. That is the objective here. So the therapeutic relief is actually a side effect as we continue to go deeper into ourself and cultivate awareness to who we really are. And that is the reason behind the YouTube channel, everything, the Udemy page, all the courses, all the workshops, all the videos. It's all to meet that aim. And for this, we continue to meditate. And for me, it is the most enriching part of my life. I could not imagine my life without yoga, without shaktipat, without my guru. I could not imagine my life without the Sanatana Dharma. It is by far the most rich part of my life. And to have the opportunity to share that with you is so meaningful and is so rewarding on so many levels and brings me such a sense of purpose and fulfillment. So I thank you. I thank you for taking your time to go through these videos and to give yourself the benefits of a daily practice of meditation. And I invite you to continue this work with me, which is not my work. This is the work of Prakriti, nature. She is the one who's doing all of this. We just have a role in it. But she is the one that is guiding the progress of evolution. And all of these practices, we just have a role. And we are blessed to be able to have that role in her work. And I'm so honored that you have taken upon yourself the role as participant to be able to gain the fruits and the rewards of a daily practice of meditation. So thank you for tuning in. Thank you for continuing to practice and keep the practices alive, and to continue learning with me as we explore this incredibly rich and rewarding path of yoga together. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.